Hey, what's going on, everybody? Real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for 30 subscribers. That's a big deal for me. Obviously, it's not like a huge number, but to me, the way I think about it is I have 30 people that take time out of their day to watch the content that I'm making, and I just couldn't be more thankful for that. So I wanted to do a quick, toolbox tour slash setup that I have over here. Take you guys through it, all the tools that I have, maybe show you guys some tools that you may or may not have that you might need. But yeah, without further ado, let's just do it. Starting up top here, I have my license plate this was from a 2001 Nissan Maxima that I had in high school. I loved that car. I did a lot of work to it, and then it got in a wreck, unfortunately. Here I have a snap-on, kind of like a 10 sign. I believe I got this from a coworker of mine. It was just sitting in his truck, so he was like, if you want it, you can take it. So I did. I have this license plate that I got from Amazon, I believe. It's from that show Initial D. It looks cool. I just thought, might as well just throw it up here. So moving down, I have this is my snap-on 3/8 drill. This thing has seen, good, bad, and ugly of everything that I've worked on. This thing is awesome, and I have the STS Auto Design magnets for the battery, so you can stick it on the wall, you can stick it on the lift, on the car. It's freaking awesome. I love it. And then here I have the brushless drill. This thing is awesome, paired with these drill bits. These are from Mac. They have long, and I believe, yeah, they have the short ones. Sorry, I haven't looked through my stuff in a minute, but so this tool right here, I love this thing. I've used the crap out of this for interior work, some exterior work, pulling fenders, bumpers, pulling apart dash panels, all that stuff. This thing is awesome. Yeah, and then I have some drill brushes. I believe these drill brushes are from Harbor Freight, but all these little bits down here, these are all from the Mac set that I bought, like 2 years ago. It comes with all these different bits, Torx, your normal Phillips bits, all kinds of stuff. This is the 1/4-inch version of that drill up there. This thing is awesome. It has surprisingly a decent amount of power for the size and it, being a 1/4 inch. But I don't really use it crazy amount as I would my 3/8, but nonetheless, it does the job, and I freaking love this trigger. All of these were super ridiculously expensive for this is like $900, and just that's ridiculous. But anyways, moving on. Just got some pictures and some stuff. I have my little plaque that I got when I was at Honda, my NREMT badge, pictures. Here I have my snap-on light. This thing was one of the first lights that I bought ever. I had, even though it was charged, but it's pretty cool. Stick it on any surface. You can articulate it, whatever you want. Pretty cool. And I want to say a coworker gave this to me. I forgot who, I'm sorry. But anyways, moving on down here, I have a little Dremel, a little battery powered Dremel. And this is what I've used to engrave most of my tools. As you can see, yeah, I just put my initials on the bottom or the top of that one. I try to engrave all my tools. So that's kind of a helpful tip. If you're new to the industry and you have tools, you're afraid of losing them or people taking them, just engrave your name on them. This was $20-30 on Amazon. I'll link this one in the description. Here, this is actually pretty cool. This is a ratcheting bit driver, and where's it at? Hold on. It's articulating, so you can drill, or you can use it this way, or you can just do it normally, like a normal screwdriver, and it has bits in the cap. I have another one of these, but it doesn't articulate. I have that one inside actually, for putting together furniture and stuff. But this thing's pretty cool. This is just a random screwdriver. I don't know where I got this from, but it's there. Here I have some mirrors. I think, yeah, so these mirrors, they come in pretty handy. These are from Matco. This one, I don't remember where I got this one from. I believe I found this one in the hood of a car, and I just kept it. But yeah, mirrors, if you know, they're a big thing in the auto industry. you got to be able to see certain things, where it's like looking behind an engine, looking at brakes, or whatever. So here I got my 1/2-inch Milwaukee. This thing is tried and true. Like, this is the older one. I wanted to get the newer one, the newer 1/2-inch one. It kind of looks like this one, but I just haven't had time to really go. I mean, I haven't really needed it. You know, this thing, it's done me good for the last 3.5 years. So, and then here is the stubby 1/2-inch. This thing is so awesome. I love this thing. I used to use these a lot of the time, really with tires and suspension work. I would take off tires with this big one, and then I'll put them back on with this one, so I wouldn't like over torque it. I mean, obviously I have a torque wrench and I'll use the torque wrench, but you know, you never know. But so over here, my snap-on like headlamp. These are pretty old, but you know, I use these a ton when it came to like interior work, when I had to pull apart dashes or do recalls like a Honda. Yeah, this was great for that. Got my icon light. This thing is pretty sick. I love it. It was cheap. You know, you can hang it on anything like suspension. It's magnetized, so obviously you can stick it to something. And it has a UV light also. Right here in the tip, it has a UV light. It works pretty well, surprisingly. So I have my Milwaukee battery, the charger. This is all bolted onto the, not bolted on, it's on the pegboard here. The pegboard's bolted to the wall, and I just have them, I believe I ran screws through the back of this, and I hooked it on there. It was kind of a pain, but up here, these are like ancient. These are the original snap-on soft grip like screwdrivers, like the first ones, one of the first ones to ever come out. My snap-on dealer was nice enough to give me like a huge discount on these, and he gave me like 20 bucks. So here I have my O-light. This light is probably the best light you could buy on the market from Amazon. I believe I got it for like 120 bucks, something like that. It's like a first setting, and you turn the little switch right here. It does like spotlight, and then it does UV. And then if you double tap it, makes it super, super bright, max settings, and then you can strobe it. So this thing is awesome. The battery life on this thing is crazy. Like, I've used this for 2 or 3 days at a time without having to charge it, and it's just awesome. One of my favorite lights that I've ever had. I almost dropped it, almost lost my favorite light ever. These are my snap-on pry bars. As you can see, they are beat the hell up. I love these pry bars. The only issue is that I wish I had the big one, because, you know, when I first bought them, I was like, oh yeah, this is a big pry bar. And then I saw some of the bigger ones that the guys that I worked with had. They were massive. They were probably about the length of the whole box. Here I have just a bench vise. All right, so now on to the actual box. This is a US General Series 3. I believe this is the 56-inch. Beforehand, I had like the roll cart, the 5-drawer roll cart. This thing right here has served me so well for a great price of like, I think it was like 600 bucks. I bought this. I highly recommend you guys look into getting one of these, but you know, just to do like a quick little outside of the, you know, all the stickers and everything that I've collected over the years. So yeah, so the first drawer is gonna be my ratchets and sockets. So I guess I don't even know where to start. I'll start over here. These are 3/8 impact deep. These are 3/8 chrome deep, and these are the 3/8 shallow. These are a 1/4-inch impact deep. These are the 1/4-inch chrome shallow. So when I graduated from my tech school, they gave us $1,000 worth of free tools. So I had the shorts, the deeps, and then I had this ratchet right here. This ratchet came with that, and then I got a set of wrenches and screwdrivers. But anyways, so yeah, this is the 1/4-inch shallow chrome, and these are 1/4-inch, but with a magnet. I think these are the spring-loaded ones. No, they are not the spring-loaded ones, but these are the 1/4-inch magnet impact sockets. These were great. This set right here, I'm not proud to say this, but this snap-on set of 1/2-inch impact sockets from, what is it, 12? All right, it goes from 10 all the way through 36, and it doesn't skip a size. This set was like 1,200 bucks. I know, but anyways, This is where I keep all my 1/2-inch impact sockets. These are I use for, you know, the wheels at Honda, like the 19. Honda likes to use painted wheels, so you know I used to use the snap-on one, as you can see, and it wouldn't like really scratch it, but I just didn't want to run the risk of scratching anything, so I got these protective sockets, lug nut sockets from I believe Matco. There's that one. That's the 19. This is the 21, and then this is a 22. These are from Mac. This set right here is from Mac. These are the 1/2-inch swivel sockets from Expert. I will say Expert has some pretty quality sockets. I've never had an issue with them. You know, they've done me good, especially with the impact shallow 1/2-inch. These are awesome. I love using these. These are great for suspension work. This is a spark plug socket. This is from Snap-on. I believe it's the 5/8. Oh, it's the 14 mil. It's 14 millimeter. These are like I use these a lot of Honda. And then this one is the 5. This one is the 5/8. Yeah, this is the 5/8 socket. Here, this is a special like 10 spline socket for older Hondas that their control arms, the lower control arms on older Hondas, they're splined like this. They're 10-point. This is a stud installer. So you put this, like if you're installing a new stud, you put this on the hub with the new stud coming through this way, and you can put like a lug nut or like another kind of nut on it and just hammer it on there with the impact, or you can use a ratchet, and then it drives the stud forward through the hub. I surprisingly found a lot of uses for this ratchet. Doing kind of like interior work, some engine, like if you're in a tight engine bay, this thing works great. You can articulate it, you can use it like a screwdriver, you can do all kinds of things with this. So I really do enjoy using this ratchet. So this is my Snap-on long flex head ratchet. I love this thing. I used it every day just about for the last 3 years. And then here, this is the long non-flex head ratchet, the fixed head, I guess you could call it. I use these for alignments. This thing was great. I could put a ton of pressure behind this, and like thing didn't even budge. 3/8 ratchet. I don't even know like how long this is, but I can't remember the last time I really used it. I don't know, but it's just good to have. Here is, I want to say this is the like 100th anniversary, or this was like the super thin head ratchet. It's like 122th or something. This actually used quite often when I would do spark plugs on the back side of the engine on like the V6s that we had in Honda. I was able to, you know, sneak around some of the vacuum lines, and since it had a flex head, I was able to turn the handle upwards or put it downwards. You know, it worked pretty well. This is a Snap-on. This is a 1/4-inch hard handle. I don't even think they make this color anymore. They might, but I picked this up. This was great for doing interior stuff also. I had to do a lot of recalls and accessories at Honda. So using this guy and this guy for some of the SUVs and the vans, you had to take out the radio, and there's 2 8mm bolts that ran through like underneath that center console area. Take that off, and there's 2 8mm bolts, and just get this guy up in there, and it worked great. So this guy, I found this on the truck about 2 years ago. This is discontinued. Like, they don't make this color anymore. At least I don't think so. I could be wrong. But I found it in the back of a shelf. Like, it was hidden. Like, it had fallen back there. So here, this is my Snap-on 1/2-inch ratchet. I don't even know what I use this for, honestly. But I used it quite a bit. This thing's heavy, dude. It's like a club. You hit somebody in the head with it. So, and then here I have my long flex head 1/2-inch ratchet from Snap-on. This thing was great for doing suspension work or like doing brakes. When I would do, me at least, I was super thorough with my brake jobs. I would take off the bracket, everything, clean it up, and I'll kind of snug it up with this guy. So, made quick work of everything. But yeah, that is the top drawer. So moving on to the wrench drawer. I guess I'll start right here. So these guys right here, these are K-Tool. These are K-Tool. Yeah, it's upside down. That's K-Tool. I got this from the Mack truck. These wrenches, they serve me so well, and that's when I use this one a lot, the 1719. This one was like my go-to for oil changes and alignments. This thing was awesome. So that's from K-Tool, combination, double box in combination wrenches. Over here, these are the Snap-on flank drive combination wrenches. I use these a ton also. This one, I believe this is a 10 through 19 without skipping a size, because there's nothing that I hate like more than when you buy like tools or wrenches, sockets, whatever, and it skips sizes. That irks me like no other. So here, these might not be as well known for people that are new to the industry, but these are combination speed wrenches. So I guess I don't even know how do I. Okay, so say you have a bolt and you have your wrench here, your speed wrench. You see it grabs right there. So now let's say you need to, instead of having to take it off, flip it around, or try to find that next bite, you just rotate it. Like, damn, I hit the camera. That's all it is. You just slide it upwards to find the next bite, and you turn it. And with these combination speed wrenches, it goes from 10 all the way through 19, I believe. Also not skipping any sizes. So here, these wrenches are actually really cool. These are from Vim. These are super, super thin wrenches. These are really cool. But yeah, I would use these for brake jobs. For when you're taking out like the slide pin, sometimes the slide pin, it would spin with whatever it was threaded into. Like there's like a little, almost like a nut that held it in place, and it would spin with it. And you just get this on there to hold it in place, because, you know, sometimes these wrenches, they're too thick. These were like way too thick to get in there against the caliper and the bracket to hold it in place. So you had to get like needle nose pliers and just tear it all up. But these wrenches, these are great for that. Here, these are the double boxed in Snap-on wrenches. These are great. Also, this is what I use for oil changes and alignments also, without the flex head, because these, since they don't flex, they're not flex head, I can put a little bit more force behind them and they won't kind of have as much play in them. So these are great. These go from, I believe, 10 through all the way through 20. I want to say, probably wrong. Anyways, here, these are brake bleeding wrenches. These are Snap-on also, if I can get it to focus. Yeah, so this is a 7 and 9, 7 and 9 mil brake bleeder wrenches, and this one is the 10 and 11. So these are really great for getting around the caliper, and you know, it gets your hands away from the caliper, away from everything. You can break that bleeder valve loose. And then here, these wrenches, I want to say, so it goes from 10 all the way through 24. It doesn't skip a size. But originally, when I got those sockets and the screwdrivers and that ratchet from when I graduated, it came with 10 through 17, but it skipped 16, I want to say. It skipped 16. So over the years, I picked up the rest of the sizes, and I have these Toolbox widget wrench organizers. These are great. Otherwise, this whole, like, I wouldn't be able to fit all these wrenches in here with those huge freaking Snap-on trays, all that stuff. But these are great from 24 all the way through 10 mil. All right, next drawer, I got my screwdrivers, pliers, picks, more pliers. These are actually Icon. These, I used a crap ton. These are great for the price too. Harbor Freight, they know what they're doing. This screwdriver set, I got this like almost 4 years ago. So just your standard Snap-on screwdriver set. I use these all the time. These are Blue Point oil filter pliers. This thing has bite. This thing has bite like no other. And I freaking love these pliers. So these are all Snap-on, except I think one of these. Yeah, so these two, this one, the duck bills, and then those, those are Icon, but these right here are Snap-on. These are Snap-on. These little itty bitty screwdrivers, those are Snap-on. Obviously Snap-on, Snap-on little pliers. Snap-on hammers. I actually have these hammers in this drawer over here, but I rearranged some stuff. Got an extra battery, brake checker tools, some miscellaneous stuff, tread depth tools. But down. Here we go. So these are from Cornwell. These locking extensions were great. They're locking impact extensions for 1/2 inch, and these were great for especially something like this massive. For Honda, they like to put their starters underneath the intake manifold, so I would have to go through the wheel well to get to the bolts, and these worked great for that. So I got Snap-on 3/8 extensions, non-wobble. I have the 1/4 inch Wobble Plus, a little swivel, a little adapter. So this too I took from the trade school that I was at. This turns a breaker bar into a ratcheting breaker bar. So you put the end of your breaker bar here, and whatever it is you're putting it on here, socket, crankshaft bolt, whatever, and you just flip the switch, and it makes it ratcheting. I don't even know why I have this, but filter claws. These are from Matco, and some brake caliper hangers. These are from Matco. These work great. I want to say the green ones. The green ones, they're flexible, or is it the orange ones? Okay, so the green ones are not flexible. The orange ones are flexible. So you see how you can wait. One of these is flexible. I don't know, but one of those is flexible, so you can bend it to however you need to. Here I got a terminal cleaner for batteries, wire brushes. Here I have a center punch, for drilling things, getting my hole centered. This was a filter cup specifically for Toyotas, actually. This thing works great. Here, this is a impact driver set from Snap-on. So this was the big deal that I had to have when doing brake jobs and everything, because occasionally you get rotors that just would not come off, like the little screws inside the rotors, they just would not come off. So these are great. Just hammer on them for a bit with this and it will come right out. In this drawer, I have some brass center punches, some thread chasers, I'm sorry. These are some thread chasers. This is an exhaust hanger pliers, some wire strippers, some clip removal tools, and then this guy, this is a damaged nut. This is an extractor set from, for lug nuts, especially like Ford. Ford is the big one that we had to use these on, because occasionally we get, the used cars, they would sell Fords and they would come back for oil changes and tire rotations and all that nonsense. Here I have my Milwaukee drill. I've had this thing for years. I used to use this guy with those bits, but this thing was just massive and clunky. I have Milwaukee drill. This thing was awesome, especially doing accessories. The roof rails was a big one at Honda, and we had to cut the roof rails to fit them. So that was a big one. I have just some Honda stuff. This trim tool set, I believe I showed in the video, and I believe I put it in the description of another video already. This is the case for all these bits, and then this I had on the side over here, and it held that gun. It held both of those 1/2 inches and then the drill that was in here, but I had put the handle back on, so I put it away. All right, so this guy, this is a drum brake kit. I believe, I picked this up from Amazon. I really haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to. So there's that. These are piston compressors for brakes. It's the single piston, and then this one is the dual piston. Put those back. Now this guy, this was that huge Snap-on like Torx, Hex, Starbit, E-Torx set, and it came in a huge case like this, and it just took up so much room. So I went on, I think it was eBay, and I bought this tray designed to hold all these, and I put them in here, and it just looks so much better. So I use these all the time. And in here, these are half size sockets for like swollen lug nuts. Also, like sometimes you'll get like, it's not quite a 19, it's a 19 and a half. 22 and a half was the big one, but this thing is awesome. I'll link this in the description. I'll try and link as much as I can in the description if I remember it all, but moving on. Here, this is a drill pump. This was big for filling up transfer cases and rear differentials. You just hook up a drill to it, like a normal 3/8 drill bit on it, spin it, and it would spin a pump, and it would suck fluid out of the containers and push it into the differential or transfer case. Here, Toolbox widget. Highly recommend you guys get some of those. This is my Snap-on 3/8 cordless. This thing is awesome. I use it all the time. I haven't had much use of it lately, but Milwaukee drill. I love this thing. Still works. This thing is old, dude. I got my Matt Code air chuck, and then my Milwaukee. This was like one of the first ratchets I ever bought, was Milwaukee 3/8. This guy has served me well. And then here on the side, this is a torque wrench. I believe I was working on a used car actually, and this was in the back seat. They left it, so I took it. Well, that's all for the toolbox and the pegboard. In here, it's just like microfiber towels and like car wash stuff, extension cords. Really no tools in there. But yeah, guys, just again, thank you guys for 30 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about the tools that I have, or where to find any good tools, feel free to comment down below. I know it's kind of an odd video, kind of a long video, but I'm just happy to make something for you guys. I know it's been a while, but anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.